Hey troops, welcome to the channel Dit Commando. My name's Ryan and I'm a former Royal Marine from the United Kingdom, and today we are going to be reacting to Commando on the Front Line episode 1, The Shock of Capture. Now this was filmed when I was first in Commando training, about a year after I was at Lympstone Commando Training Centre, Royal Marines, and there's a few regular faces on here who yeah, I brushed shoulders with when I was a young 16-year-old, okay? And we can talk about that a little bit more. It's a real good documentary if you haven't seen it before. The links will be in the description, but if you want to hear my take on it, then please watch this and drop a comment below if you like it, guys. Yeah, reacting to a lot more Royal Marine content, just to give you guys a little bit more of an understanding of myself, where I've come from, the pedigree that I've came from within the military, XYZ. Okay, but yeah, I look forward to sharing this reaction with you guys. Enjoy.
Headed to the front line and the brutal, unforgiving terrain of battle-scarred Afghanistan, the scene of some of the fiercest hand-to-hand fighting that British soldiers have faced since the Second World War. In the heat of battle, the Navy's Royal Marine Commandos, a spearhead force of elite shock troops that can attack with devastating effect from air, sea, or land. To prepare for war, they've undergone the toughest military training anywhere in the world. Enough to reduce grown men to tears. And it often does.
Stop making fucking girly faces and start moving!
I was granted unprecedented access over 12 months to film with the Commandos, both here and in Afghanistan.
Phone right over our head.
Hands straight in the bollocks, very uncomfortable. You start grabbing, ripping the testicles off, ripping the penis off. Again, I'm sure you're going to have the upper hand.
No!
Whatever the situation, nothing was to be hidden from me.
Stick it up your ass! You think you got the fucking attitude? Sit back here and do your own fucking routine. You can think again. I'm spent.
If we don't carry out what we've been taught, you know, we're going to end up dead.
Get down into cover. Get down into cover. Down.
This is a fantastic documentary, guys. You're in for a
I
right
was with
treat.
them as they faced the shock and horror of the front line.
We're under heavy attack. Taliban are fighting back hard. Got us well pinned down.
I was at their side as they confronted pain, exhaustion, fear, and even death.
This is awesome, guys. This literally takes you right from the very start of Commando training, the exact process in which all bootnecks Royal Marines have been through, even down to the train ride. You're going to see basically what I went through, what Marines go through from day one all the way up to the front line. This is a fantastic episode, guys. I remember that train ride. That
Our
very
story
train
starts back in June 2006 as a fresh batch of recruits arrives at the Commando Training Centre at Lympstone in Devon, a base with its own dedicated railway station.
Lympstone Commando.
Line out along there.
For these 50 recruits, aged between 16 and 28, there's now no turning back.
Stand still, face your fronts.
They'll be known as 924 Troop, and this is their extraordinary story.
When I ask you a question, you'll finish the sentence with call.
Over the next 32 weeks, they'll be pushed to their absolute limits, and many of them will be broken by the training, destroyed by the sheer bloody challenge of it. We'll be with them, every body-crunching, gut-wrenching step of the way.
No, Hudson Corporal. You don't think to have a shave this morning?
I did, sir.
Corporal, I disagree with you massively. I'll be teaching you how to shave properly. Name?
Richard's Corporal.
Switch your fuck on! Get up there!
There's nothing you seem to do is right.
Right.
CT, yes?
Yes.
Name?
McCormack Corporal.
Do you top button up?
924 Troop face an often exhilarating but sometimes terrifying rite of passage that only the very best will get through.
Right, man, everybody pick up your bags.
The ones that do will be sent straight to the front line in Afghanistan, and we'll remain with them wherever they go.
Catch it up then.
But first, there's 32 weeks of training, 8 months of intense, arduous physical and mental challenge. For many, as they cross the threshold into an alien world, it'll be the first time away from their families, who must now come to terms with their own fears.
I remember the first time I went through those gates.
He will be going to a war zone.
It was hard.
Is obviously quite frightening for a parent, but the fact that he will be one of the elite of all the armed services throughout the world is a big sort of confidence boost as far as I'm concerned. But I don't want him to come home in a bag.
Line out, one long line there. Hurry up, let's go.
As soon as you're in, you're trained and you're out somewhere like Afghanistan.
That's not hurrying, fellas, get there.
It doesn't scare very easy, Mike.
No, he doesn't. We worry about him just as much going out on a Saturday night, local, as we would, I'm sure, going out there, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Especially if he's got a troop behind him and he's in a group. I feel more confident and comfortable with that.
Catch you up in the rear then, hurry up.
We had to accept that he might have to shoot somebody, or there was the possibility that he could be shot, but we've had to sort of come to terms with it.
It's a fact. 924 Troop will deploy onto operations in Afghanistan. So we've got 32
Major
weeks
Matten.
to transform this individual.
What a legend.
Into a team player, a well-trained Royal Marine that's confident and capable of joining a troop on operations. And you know, that's the test. That's the test for us here in the training centre.
Right, this is a foundation centre here. It's where you're going to spend the first 2 weeks of your life in the Royal Marines. Don't just amble about, fellas.
With my bed on the left there.
Name tag on, then get yourself to the barbers.
Yeah, it's honking in there.
924.
Yeah, and this barber gets paid good money, and he absolutely troughs your hair. He rips it to shreds, guys. I don't know how he's still there.
24 Troop. 50 young men plunged into an extraordinarily different environment, and for the moment, complete strangers, but who one day will have a bond so strong that they would readily die for each other.
Teddy William Carlo. John William Hudson. Isaac Terrence John.
James Dennis Williams.
Matthew Ian Wilshire.
William Young. Swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, and that I will, as is duty bound.
British forces in southern Afghanistan have been involved in the heaviest fighting yet with Taliban militia since UK troops took over security duties in Helmand province at the beginning of May. 2 British soldiers were killed in action early yesterday, while a third died in clashes earlier this month.
.924 Troop, welcome to Livingston, welcome to the Royal Marines, renowned for its demands, the challenges that will put your way, okay, and putting you eventually as a part of 3 Commander Brigade. You will be surprised at the number of young men that start to waver in the first few days. All right, you'll be surprised that it's the chap in the bed next to you that's starting to doubt his decision. Please, fellas, look beyond the end of your nose. Many of you, on completion here, will go straight to Afghanistan. Our aim is to pass you, all right? Let us do that.
Empty the condenser in front of you, please.
I remember that geezer as well. If you couldn't get a pair of socks out of him if you wanted when you went to the stores.
The transformation begins. Uniform and kit.
First bit of kit then is your Combat 95 Gore-Tex trousers.
No weapons yet. The most lethal thing they get to handle in these early days is the steam iron.
You've got your steam buttons and your water buttons on there. Okay, a little bit of water over the collar, not much tension.
Is this what you thought it would be like in the Marines?
Yeah, first day, I was inspecting. Paperwork, stuff like that, just trying to break us in gently. It'll soon pick up the pace by the end of the week.
You're still up for it, huh?
Oh yeah. Yes, you've got to be up for it in the Marines, you do. We don't come here half-hearted. No, sorry.
I chose the Royal Marines because I wanted to be part of the elite, and I knew that this would be the greatest challenge. And I'm putting 100% effort in and determination. I'm prepared for anything that they're going to throw at me.
The thing is, when I was in, I mean, I understand it from both sides, because I went into commando training a very young lad, 2 weeks from leaving school. I was down there, very naive, physically fit, because I'd boxed for 5-6 years at that point. I was extremely fit, mentally not as strong as where I needed to be. And you can think that you're where you need to be, just like most of these young lads. They talk and they talk. Yeah, I'm ready for this and all of that. But when you're pushed to your absolute limit, then you get to see the true person come out, okay? And when I was met with my limit, it was just I needed to go away and do some more growing. I needed to have a lot more life experience, and I needed to mentally grow up, all right? And you can only do that when you're ready, and I wasn't ready the first time around. The second time I went back in, I used that experience and I understood the process a lot better. And I was mentally strong at that point. Nothing could really break me down. So I was prepared for commando train. So what you'll find is guys like this individual will talk the talk, but in time they may not necessarily be able to walk the walk. It's just an experience, and most people will find that out on their individual journey.
Including serving in a war zone.
Including serving in a war zone, yeah.
With this, I always thought to myself, it's one of them things, if you don't do, you'll regret. But at the moment, I'm very glad I've done it. Just got to keep it up.
It's another, 31 and a bit weeks?
31 and a bit weeks. Not long there. Yeah, it'll be all right.
Adam, I got bent lines, or are they okay?
But this isn't an easy transition for everyone. Terry John from St Vincent in the Caribbean is already having doubts.
There's a lot going through my head right now. It's like so many different things. I've come from so far. I wanted to do it. I want to be a very strong, very determined young man, and I want to prove it that I'm very determined. So it's hard. It's really hard. And the way I'm feeling right now, I want to leave. My mind is just like splattered all over. I'm just like all over. So my mind is not really at ease and at one.
The fact is, as unhappy as Terry seems to be, no one's allowed to leave for at least 28 days, unless there are exceptional circumstances. So the training goes on to turn these young men into steely-eyed dealers of death and destruction.
Right, what you're going to get now is a demonstration on how to shower correctly, demonstration on how to shave correctly, and how to brush your teeth.
Right, so this, believe it or not, this does happen, all right, every troop that goes through training. It might seem a little bit obvious how to wash yourself, but trust me, guys, all right, there's people out there who don't, and there's another reason for this as well. Everyone gets taught one way so that you all do it that one way. All right, it might be different from the way you've done it, but you get taught one way. And when you're in the services, in the military, in the Marines, especially where you're going to be working in close-knit environments with each other, on ship with each other, where water may be limited, time is definitely limited. You need to be able to shower as efficiently and effectively as possible. So little things might seem stupid to those who aren't serving or who haven't served, but to those who have, you'll understand exactly why this process is taking place. So there is a reason for it, guys, okay?
You will have been issued in your bed pack a mattress cover, a pillow, 2 pillowcases, 2 duvet covers, 2 white sheets, and a quilt.
Okay, first thing, how to shower correctly. Okay, first thing, get yourself under the water, get yourself soaked through. Get yourself a bit of shower gel. Okay, and you start from head to toe. Making sure that you rub it in absolutely everywhere. Okay, all over the arms, shoulders, as much around the back as you can reach.
Here's your mattress, which has been issued, and the mattress cover goes on the mattress like a condom.
in around the groin, okay? Under your knob, okay? Pull the foreskin back, get it right in there, okay? Around the end, the whole shebang.
When you're making your bed, you'll see that you've got a central crease down the middle and 2 on each side, which fit quite nicely. Yep.
Then you move on to your legs, okay? Scrubbing away, getting the nails in, okay? Over all of the legs. Next stage then, lads, making sure that you rinse all of the soap off properly.
2 big strong lads, duvet cover on the duvet. It shouldn't be too complex because you've all got duvets at home, okay? However, Mum's not here and you can't close the bedroom door, all right?
Okay, you've had a nice easy day today, fellas. It starts from tomorrow. The learning curve is like that. Right, so you need to have a good attitude, right, you need to be willing to work hard, otherwise it'll get painful. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
It's past midnight, and 924 Troop prepare to bed down, day 1 over. Just 240 left until they're deployed to Afghanistan.
Just tomorrow, you start moving a lot faster with a lot more urgency. Enjoy the sleep that you get. Get in your pit.
That was my pit. The second one in, that one there, you can't see it with my fingers off. My very, very pit.
After just 5 hours sleep, 924 Troop is woken to start their second day of training to be Royal Marine Commandos.
Right, we get up then. Get up.
So this is where they'll actually see things change up big time. Okay, they're gonna see a big difference to things. It's gonna get up there. Yeah, the pace is gonna increase.
Straight on. Hopefully up and out your bed now. As soon as those picks get them out of it.
For their first 2 weeks, they have to wear shirts and ties to the canteen. Breakfast is the first of 4 main meals they must eat every day to cram in the 5,000 calories they'll need to cope with training.
Left, left, right, left, right, left, 2.
Yeah, none of them know how to march at the moment.
Today, this is a fitness assessment, so I can gauge, and myself and the rest of the instructors can gauge your fitness and see how you progress through training. Everything you've got in there. You're out. You do not drop out from the run until you are literally doubled over, about to pass out. You give everything you've got. This is also so you know in your own heads how fit you are.
Over the next 32 weeks, these recruits will be pushed through physical pain barriers that right now they probably couldn't even imagine. By the end of training, each recruit will have had to obtain the fitness levels of an international athlete.
Yeah.
Down, team's got to go over the bar.
The change from civilian into the military and into the Royal Marines, yeah, it's a huge step change, and you know, it's a man's world, and some of the blokes aren't ready for that.
Listening, Troop! Some of you look fresh as a daisy. You should have all had your hands in the air, asking for permission to go outside to throw up. Arms bent!
There's every chance that we're going to lose 25 to 30%, not wanting to be here, or unfortunately having to go home because of an injury or an injury they've come here with, or just being unsuitable. And very early on, you'll note that there's going to be 1 or 2 that really don't want to be here at all, and you know, they've made a bad call. As I'm sure we'll see with this troop, there'll be 1 or 2 that want to go almost immediately.
Yeah.
Jake.
The way I'm feeling right now, I'd already written a letter asking very respectfully to terminate my service as soon as possible. And I was basically stating reasons being that my mental state, I don't think I'm mentally fit for it.
If you go home after coming all this way, I think you're cheating yourself, Recruit John. You haven't given yourself a fair shot. Now, at the minute, you're unhappy, aren't you? And you're not enjoying it. But I think for 2 days to make that judgment, Recruit John, I think it's very narrow-minded of yourself. You agree?
No, sir. I've just gone down the wrong path, that's all. At night, I don't get good sleep because I just lay down, and every time I turn, I'm thinking someone's going to come in and say, do this, do that, and all that. But I just want...
You can't relax.
I can't relax.
Well, nobody can relax. The troop were 2 minutes late coming back from supper, a punishable offence.
Everybody stand up. Okay, unfortunately, you've already just ironed and folded your trousers and the Combat Soldier 95 shirts, but I haven't checked they're fitted. Okay, everybody now, pick up one stone shirt, hold out in front of them. Yeah, they'll fit. Thrown over your heads. Next shirt. Okay, bear in mind, fellas, you're all going to need re-ironing now and refolding. Okay, drop those. Make sure you've got both of your rigs ready for tomorrow. Ironed and folded. Make sure this place gets left immaculate. Crack on.
I just feel like trash right now. That's just it. To the end.
It's not easy though, is it?
It's not easy. It's hard. No.
Okay, it's meant to be hard. So when you pass out, it's a quality life. When you pass out, without being cheesy, you'll travel the world. Okay, you go places. You will make. I didn't believe it all either. You'll make some of the best friends you will ever have. I'll give you my word on that. Okay, it's a quality lifestyle, but you got to get.
Yeah, it's commando training is nothing like life after. When you get to a unit, it's completely different. It's a lot more relaxed. It's still hard, but you've earned your right to have a definitely more relaxed time. But commando training is such a mental ball of confusion. It's just horrendous. I describe it like living with a massive amount of anxiety day to day, and eventually learning to cope with it, or eventually not learning to cope with it and leaving. Those who cope with it, get through it, end up getting the Green Beret. It's a really, really hard environment to be in, all right, guys, and it's very, very charged. It's male, it's masculine, it's everything manly, okay, and it's tough.
Get through 32 weeks. Remember, everyone's in the same boat. You're not the only one who's feeling like you're feeling. Yes. One day at a time, confidence, smash it. Just go through it each day.
Let's go.
Yeah? Okay, loads of work to get on with in there.
Happy days.
After another fitful night's sleep, 924 Troop wake to their third day of training, and Terry Johns made a final decision about his future.
What do you want, Recruit John?
Last day that I've changed my mind about my decision.
So you want to stay?
Yes.
You want to stay at last? That didn't take long, did it, Recruit John?
No, it's just my feelings, And
it's a bit of a shock of being here for the first night, isn't it? You think, I can't do this, but then you have a night here and you settle in, and it's not too bad, is it, Recruit John?
I can do it.
It's not going to hurt you. You're not going to come to any harm, are you? You enjoying it?
Yeah, so far.
In a weird way? All right, don't want to see you for the rest of the training then, Recruit John. Positive mental attitude, away you go. Good for that. Right, from what, day one he wanted to leave? I've changed my mind now, sir. Good Recruit John. Get back in there. I think it's quite common lads come and they say they want to leave, and they don't really. They're just scared of being here. First day, second day. A bit shock of capture, a bit scared. Yeah, he was quite happy then, wasn't he? Bit of energy. Soon sack that out of him. Right.
You seem really happy now.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to approach it. If we all could be happy together, then we'd face when it's bad together. I'd rather if all of us be happy with one another, then we might be able to help each other quicker. Get to know each other really quick. There'll be down times. There would be times when we feel like shit. When we're running and other guys can't keep up, we just try to encourage them and pull them forward. I'm normally friggin' crazy, that's just it. You know when I'm not feeling proper, because I would just not say anything. Just be there.
First 2 days. You'll change your mind tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going home.
It was only last night that Terry wanted to leave. Now he happily joins 924 Troop as they set off on their first speed march. But one recruit stays behind to see the company commander.
why do you think I should let you go home before your 28-day period is up?
For personal things, sir, I find myself becoming increasingly more panicky and feeling very claustrophobic, very nauseous. I'm surrounded by all military personnel, pictures, and on your point of view, sir, I don't wish to be any more of a burden on you.
Right, well firstly, we'll decide as and when you're being a burden. I want you to stay beyond this week. I want you to give me at least a week or two of your time. However, I'm being strongly advised that probably isn't the right thing to do with you.
Yes, sir.
You are unhappy, exceptionally so, okay, and I think that you're going to start to be a liability, not only to the troop, indeed with the trainers, okay, but potentially to yourself.
Okay, slow the pace down at the front.
The reason I'm really slightly unimpressed, good Lambie, is because what I wanted to see was a little bit of oomph, a little bit of spine, okay, and for you to take away a few life skills from your 2 or 3 or 4 weeks with the Royal Marines. Now you're even going to fail to do that, which is a shame, okay, because I think we could have furnished you with something, all right, from your efforts at getting here. Now, are you sure you don't want that? Are you sure you don't want to give this a little bit more time, knowing, because it's your right, after 4 weeks, knowing that you will be making that decision and going home?
So I'm positive I wish to leave as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yep. So, fellas, I'm not too sure what it was, but quite a few of you couldn't quite keep the pace. The purpose of that march back to camp is to help you to break into your boots. Now, if you think, fellas, of forthcoming months, you're going to build up from this 5-mile speed march, 6-mile speed march, fellas, that's with kit, culminating in your 30-mile march across Dartmoor, wearing webbing, weapon, and a day sack weighing upwards of 40 pounds. Okay, you'll do that for 7 hours at a quicker pace than that. If you thought that was hard, fellas, I suggest you have a long, hard think about what's to come ahead of you, get it in your minds and get on with it. Okay, you shouldn't have any complaints of anything like that. That was very basic, fellas. You'll do nothing that easy for the rest of training.
It wasn't until I started speaking to the rest of the recruits and sort of looking around at all the pictures and things like that, where they were all really sort of buzzing for the Corps and all they wanted to do was be a Marine. And for me, the enthusiasm for it all just wasn't there. Everywhere you look, there's some sort of commando or camouflage or something with someone holding a gun, which, you know, looks great on the telly, looks great in the magazine, but when it's around you 24/7, it does force thoughts into your head that at the end of the day, you know, if you don't really want to be doing that line of work, there really is no point being there, and the pictures certainly just ram it straight down your throat. As soon as you pass out and you're deemed a suitable Marine, you know, you're out there to fight for the cause. And to be fair, a lot of the lads, even though it's very early on in training still, are really up for that cause. And if I had a hat, I'd take it off to them, if that's what they want to do.
Why are you smiling, Williams? Come here. What report?
Right, troops. We're going to pause that. It's about halfway through episode 1. They're about 50 minutes long, these. So, yeah, I'm going to break them down into 2 parts just to keep the viewing pleasure, you know, going. But yeah, the first episode, Shocker Capture, you'd be surprised at how many people actually do want to leave commando training within the first few days. That thought definitely goes through everyone's brain, all right, within those first few days. It's just a strange environment, all right. The thoughts and feelings that go through your brain, the emotions that you experience are just so strong, it's crazy. And I know I've been there on both sides of that, okay. And yeah, some will make it, some won't. And this is all part of the mental process, the building blocks to becoming a Royal Marines Commando. It's not by accident that these guys are feeling all of those emotions. It's all planned, it's all created, training's designed, all right, by some very, very smart people to endure you in that way, okay. The process is there, and you can either get through it or you can't, okay. But look forward to part 2 of episode 1, guys. I'm going to be releasing that pretty soon, and if you liked it, drop a comment below. If you think you could do commando training, let me know. Would you like to? Could you? Let me know in the comments.